SwissBorg is now the official partner of my channel, so you can buy, earn, stake, sell, all in one secure mobile platform. Download using the link in the description, deposit €50 or more and you'll receive up to €100 worth of their native token CHSB. SwissBorg! Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at XRP. It's been doing something recently, out of the blue, completely unexpected. Not at all. 2 weeks ago I told you XRP wants to pump 40%. And that is still true, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. So tonight I'm doing the live stream, by the way. If you want to join the Patreon, it's £7.50 a month. 2 live streams a week. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Yeah, we'll have a look at whatever it is that you want me to look at. It doesn't have to be charts. You can go through indicators or whatever. You can just do whatever you want. Ask me any question you like, so long as it's appropriate. Right, so yeah, back onto the old XRP. Like I say, 40% pump from the 2 weeks ago when we were talking about it around the 4th of September. So far, it's done half of that. The overall target would be to try to reclaim, or not reclaim, but touch your 200 exponential on the daily for its tether pair. That is normally what it would want to do, whether it's a bull market or bear market. When XRP likes to pump, it likes to pump outside of the outside and come back down to revisit it for another pump, and so on, or in a downtrend it likes to downtrend and then pump right up into it and then breaks down from there. So that's the top target. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the overall target, but that's the top target. So the signal that we were talking about wasn't on the tether pair, it was on the Bitcoin pair. This is why we like to look at both pairs for the most part, because you can get signals on both, and you might look at tether and go, why is that happening? Why is that even moving? It makes no sense for it to move until you have a look at the setup that was present on its Bitcoin pair, and then you go, oh yes, of course, that's why it did it. So that's why it did it. Okay, fine. So there was a pump signal generated on the Bitcoin pair. In fact, it wasn't a pump signal. It was a trend continuation signal, and it's cutting it a little fine at the moment. So this was confirmed around these zones, and it's kind of been up and down all over the place. But the Chiku span effectively was, yeah, it's a bit. I don't know, it technically means that the trend has come to an end, but we're going to look on something else in a minute, and we're going to see if there's a new signal that gets formed shortly. So as far as trend is concerned, it seems to be okay. We've already tagged this area that we marked off on the video. If you want to watch that video, there's not really much point. It's 2 weeks ago. You're supposed to watch these things every day, get your notifications on, and this, that, and the other. But yeah, I mean, this was the first major target, just front running that 2000 sat zone. It comes in with this sort of messy, choppy area where we find a few bottoms and quite a lot of tops, basically, and it's just front running that 2000 sat zone. So we've hit that now, and we are also golden crossing at the moment on a daily. So this normally, if you follow charts and things, this normally wants to have a retest, just like we're expecting a retest on the XRP USDT pair, a bearish retest of this 200 exponential. We'd be looking for a bullish retest of this one. So again, these are both daily charts. So which 200 exponential do you want the most? This doesn't have to happen immediately. This is going to move up over the coming weeks, provided we're still at higher levels and haven't crashed. Whatever. There is a chance that we do crash, obviously, because we're talking FOMC meetings this week. So rate hikes expected to be, I'd say, 0.75%. But there is a small chance that they go for the full 1%. Yeah, and I say the small chance, there is a chance. It's reasonably small, but it could happen. Not particularly bothered either way. I'm still sitting sitting this portion of the market out. Really, it's too choppy. And to be honest with you, it's a fair bit boring. Let's face it. This market has been boring this month, and it was always expected to be boring after having such a decent few months previously. So we had a really good time from June. And now it's time, like I say, we took our profit, and we're going to sit back and wait. Now I have a lot of XRP, because I've been futures trading it for years, basically accumulating it like an idiot. I just have too much of it, basically. So I'm not prepared to sell it. I do actually believe that XRP will work out one day, but until then, it's just going to sit aside, just doing basically more or less nothing. So long story short, as far as this chart is concerned, we haven't cancelled out the trend. The trend is still okay, but the blue is in the red, and it hasn't made a negative cross. It's in the red, but it could cross. And the reason I mention this is that we do have the blue cross this red, make a negative cross. That would mean that this trend on the daily has finished, or is most likely finished, should we say. But as far as momentum is concerned, it's still reasonably good. We've not overshot the mark over here on the money flow index. Technically, this isn't really classed as bearish divergence yet, but it probably would be at the end of the day. So the main thing to focus on is going to be on the tether pair now, because as we've already seen the nature of the Bitcoin pair play out to reach that sort of major area. It's like the intermediate zone. We can see that we're testing that as we speak at the moment. We want to see if we can generate a pump signal on this daily on the tether pair, and that would be enough, I reckon, to bring us up to this 200 exponential, and that would be the 40% pump that we've been speaking of. A couple of weeks ago, that would complete the 40% pump up to this 200 exponential. So it'd just be towards the mid to higher 40-cent zone before we get probably a very significant rejection in classic XRP style. So really, this could even happen tonight. What we'll be looking for is this portion of the cloud to go green. All other aspects of this chart are ready for the pump signal. So we've got Chiku span above the cloud. We've got price currently above the cloud. We had the cross down here. So we're just waiting for this to go green. If that happens, in today's close, then it would likely be good to go. That would be the signal, in play. And just like the last one, it takes a couple of weeks sometimes for it to start to materialize. I mean, effectively, the last one we were talking about it on the 4th of September, which is around here. We started to play that signal out, dumped like hell. Obviously, the market dumped as well, so recognize that. So the market dumped, but XRP recovered and went on to make new highs and actually hit the target that we specified on that video, just short of 2,000 sats. So long story short, like I say, we don't need to beat around the bush too much on this one. It's still looking quite good, and we'll be looking for, I suppose, moving to the next gear. So that's the best way to look at it, really. This signal that's got the chart moving, got it going, is likely played out, and the trend is forming, which is nice. And this can be volatile and dumpy. Trust me, it can go all over the place. We're looking for this one now, so moving away from the Bitcoin pair onto the tether pair to see if we can receive a nice signal on the daily, which would be a pump signal, which would be completely appropriate, because that would be the sort of thing we'd expect to see from XRP. Big move up to around 47 cents, which is what it is at the moment. This again is descending, so it's going to be less and less every day. If it takes a couple of weeks to play out, we could be talking just mid 40s. Really, it really depends on where the moving average is at the time. It seems the most appropriate target to hit it out, and that will be the 40% that we've been speaking of done. Let's have a quick look at the higher term time frames. We'll go to a 3 daily, considering that the Bitcoin pair is the one that really led the pump here, and the tether pair is just kind of like the main lagger. Okay, so just draw a couple of dots on my chart for a laugh there. So yeah, I mean, like I say, the 200 simple exponential moving average on this 3 day, we're currently above. This has been a big move here on this 3 day. Just on its own, on that candle on its own, it's been an 18% move. So it's pretty decent. Let's face it. It would be unrealistic to expect it to fall to carry on from here, apart from if we do get a closure. And what we would get here on this closure would be green portion of the cloud, cross, Chiku span above the cloud, and obviously the price above the cloud. So that would be a pump signal on the 3 daily. On the 3 day. And if that was the case, we'd be looking to extend the move even more to the tune of like 35% from where we are right now. Again, these sort of moves aren't the sort of things that can happen overnight. This is a 3 day chart that we're looking at here on the Bitcoin pair, and it's not actually closed yet. We need a new candle to open. I'm not entirely sure when the next one will open, but we'll have to keep our eyes on that one. Again, I'm not expecting anybody to make these trades or anything like that. I talk about the coins that I either have or I'm looking to act upon, and because I have so much XRP, I'm not particularly bothered what it really does in the short term. I do like to point out when signals do generate, though, because why wouldn't you? But yeah, no, I haven't made any trades on this one. I've got more than enough, and didn't really have the time to make any futures trades on it. But it's nice. One thing I always try and tell people about XRP is, well, whatever you think of it, it's an old coin, and with age comes maturity and the respect of indicators. if you have a chat that's been in, you know, these chats, some of these coins get launched and people try and trade those. I mean, that's madness. It's kind of mayhem, which is why you see it sort of all over the place. Highly volatile, crazy stuff. See something like XRP, similar to the way that Bitcoin works, and Ethereum, obviously. They're old, and all indicators are based around price, volume, and time. So we've got the added extra of time on this chart because it's been around since 2013, which makes it slightly more, I suppose, useful to trade it based on signals. Old school signals like the ones I like. So yeah, it's always been like that. XRP has always responded well to signals, and it's nice to see that it's doing again, especially when the market's looking all weird and choppy and effectively a lot of downwards pressure and bearishness across the board, and XRP just goes, well, I got the signal, so I better start moving. It's time for me to wake up and let's move a tasty like 20%, you know, in the face of everybody. So yeah, I just thought I'd bring it to your attention. So we'll wait for the 3-day to close on Bitcoin, which would be great. That would be a powerful signal, pushing us probably up to, I'd say, this area about 2,600 sats. And we'll wait for this daily to close, and hopefully we get a green portion of the cloud appear, which will be a pump signal on the daily, which still offers at least another 20% over a few weeks. But of course, let's not take for granted that the overall market can affect it, as it did on this. As we can clearly see the effect that the market had on this chart. That big dump down, that wasn't because XRP did anything special or hit any areas. The market just came down. But XRP pulled its socks up and goes, no, I've got to act upon the signal. I'm old and I respect my indicators. So I'll leave it with you there. Just a little bit of hopium for those who hold XRP. I wouldn't suggest buying it at this level. You're basically buying resistance, but it's nice to catch up on some of these things that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. And it's always one of those things when I do a video on XRP where people are like, what are you doing talking about XRP? You must be... XRP is never going to move. Don't you realise how uncool it is? I say, well, it's not about what's cool or what's not. It's just about what the charts say, and it is what it is. You apply the same understanding to any chart, really. But there's one thing, like I say, about XRP that you can take away from is that it does usually respond to these sort of signals more than most coins. I like it for that, and that's why I futures traded. That's how I've ended up with such an inordinate amount of them, really. Because I used to do lots of coin futures on Bybit. And I just ended up with a silly amount, really, and I'm unwilling to sell them because, as far as I'm concerned, XRP has its own market cycle. It would be unrealistic to sell it anywhere, anywhere down at these levels when the expectation is over the next few years it'll reach probably a new all-time high. So it's kind of silly to really think about selling them now. I don't really need to sell them. I'll just keep going. Keep going with it, keep going with it. Right, so I'll leave it with you there. So good luck to all of you XRP traders or hodlers out there. Yeah, we'll get through this. It's fine. We've got a fix on it, but I wouldn't expect a new all-time high anywhere between, before 2025. Which is obviously a little while away from now. There's an overall market view on XRP. I've made videos about it before, but it has its own market cycle, and that's something we can take away. And it's by no means ready to start to do anything huge outside of its market cycle. Even if they win this lawsuit, which they probably will, it'll probably continue to do these big moves up, big moves down in the context of a much larger descending triangle, which I think I've probably got on this chart. No, it's not here. It's not here. But effectively, it's... Oh, of course, I'm looking at the Bitcoin pair. It basically looks like this, and this is no different to how it's always looked. This is its most recent descending triangle. This was the latter part of the last bear market into the bull market, basically, and it's only when it finally breaks out of that. And again, you'd expect a bull market to completely begin and leave XRP behind, so it's going to lag for a fair portion of a bull market before it's ready to break out of here and then start to really move up into a new all-time high. So anyway, I'll leave it with you there. There's the long and the short, but XRP, we'll get through this. We'll do it together, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Maybe I'll see you on the Patreon. Take it easy.